A giant moth, so large it can cover an entire human hand, with wings painted in rich reddish-brown, pink, purple and black patterns, and a secret so shocking, it sounds like a myth. This magnificent insect has no mouth. This is the Atlas moth, scientifically known as Atticus atlas, named after the Titan Atlas of Greek mythology, who held up the sky, a name that honors its status as the largest moth on Earth, in terms of total wing surface area. Today, we're diving deep into the extraordinary life of this gentle giant, exploring why it gave up eating entirely, how it survives without a functional mouth, its dramatic life cycle, its clever survival tricks, and the fragile place it holds in our planet's wild ecosystems. This isn't just a story about an insect, it is a powerful lesson about evolution, sacrifice, and the beauty of life that lives for a single sacred purpose. Let us start with the most mind-blowing fact. The adult Atlas moth does not eat anything, not even nectar, tree sap, or fruit juice, for its entire adult life. Unlike butterflies or other moths that have a long coiled proboscis to sip sweet liquids, the Atlas moth's mouth parts are completely vestigial. They are tiny, underdeveloped, and completely useless for feeding. This isn't a defect or a mutation. It is a deliberate, evolutionary choice that has shaped every part of the moth's existence. To understand why this makes sense, we have to look at the moth's entire life cycle, a four-stage journey of complete metamorphosis that turns a tiny egg into a crawling caterpillar, a wrapped pupa, and finally, a winged giant. Every stage is built around one goal: to store enough energy as a caterpillar, so the adult moth never needs to eat. The Atlas moth's life begins as a tiny round egg, laid carefully on the underside of a leaf by a female moth. The female picks specific host plants, more than 20 different species, including Chinese, tallow, camphor, willow, and cherry, to make sure her offspring have food the second they hatch. After about 1 to 2 weeks, the egg cracks open, and the small striped caterpillar emerges. This larval stage is the only time the Atlas moth eats, and it eats with relentless focus. The caterpillar grows rapidly, molting several times as it expands, eventually reaching up to 11 centimeters long, thick, fleshy, and covered in soft, bristly spines that deter small predators. For weeks, it chews through leaf after leaf, converting every bite into fat and energy stored in its body. This is the moth savings account, and every bit of energy it collects here will have to last it through pupation and its entire adult life. There is no second chance, no extra meals, no way to refill the tank once it becomes a winged moth. When the caterpillar has stored enough energy, it stops eating and begins to spin a tough silken cocoon around itself, often attaching it to a branch for safety. Inside this quiet capsule, a miraculous transformation happens. The caterpillar's body breaks down and rearranges itself into the structure of a moth. Wings, legs, antennae, and compound eyes take shape, but one part does not develop fully: the mouth parts. Evolution has traded the ability to feed for a bigger, stronger body and larger wings, traits that help the moth find a mate and reproduce before its energy runs out. After about 2 weeks in the cocoon, the adult Atlas moth emerges, soft and fragile, and spends several hours pumping fluid into its wings to expand them to their full size. Once its wings harden, it is ready to face the world, but it will never take a single bite of food as long as it lives. The size of an adult Atlas moth is hard to overstate. Its wingspan can reach up to 30 centimeters, and its wing surface area can top 400 square centimeters, larger than most people, as palms, and bigger than many small birds. The wings are a masterpiece of natural design, deep reddish-brown, with delicate waves of white, pink, and purple, and full clear triangular windows on the wings that lack scales, creating a striking see-through effect. But the most incredible feature is the tip of each forewing, which sticks out and is patterned to look exactly like the head of a snake, complete with a black eye-like spot that mimics a snake's pupil. This is not a coincidence. It is a life-saving defense mechanism. When a bird, lizard, or other predator tries to hunt the moth slowly moves its wings to make the snake head tips twist and shift, tricking the hunter into thinking it's facing a dangerous snake instead of a harmless moth. This clever camouflage is one of the best examples of defensive mimicry in the insect world, and it helps the slow, clumsy moth stay alive long enough to complete its mission. Because the Atlas moth has no mouth and lives only on stored energy, every movement costs it precious life force. Flying takes a huge amount of energy, so adult moths fly as little as possible, spending most of their time resting quietly on tree trunks or leaves, blending into the background with their leaf-like wing colors. Males and females have different roles in this short adult's life. which lasts only 7 to 14 days at most. Female atlas moths are larger and heavier, with rounder wings and fuller abdomens filled with eggs. They do not travel far, they stay near the spot where they emerged from the cocoon and release a powerful invisible pheromone from a gland at the tip of their abdomen. This chemical signal is so strong that male moths can detect it from several kilometers away using their large feathery antennae, which are covered in thousands of tiny sensory receptors. Male atlas moths are built for one job: to find a female. Their feathery antennae are their most important tool, sweeping the air for the female's scent as they fly low and slow through the forest. Once a male locates a female, they mate, a process that uses up even more of their stored energy. After mating, the male has little energy left and will soon die, his only life purpose fulfilled. The female, meanwhile, lays her eggs on the correct host plant leaves, one by one, carefully placing each egg in a spot where the future caterpillars will have plenty to eat. Once she has laid all her eggs, her energy is gone, and she too passes away, ending a life that never included a single meal as a winged adult. It is a short, intense, and completely selfless life. Every part of the atlas moth biology is optimized to pass its genes to the next generation, with no time or energy for anything else. The atlas moth is perfectly adapted to the warm, humid, tropical and subtropical forests of Asia, its native home stretching across southern China, India, Nepal, Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines. These forests provide the right temperature, humidity, and host plants the moth needs at every stage of its life. But this incredible insect is facing growing threats in the wild, and its population is declining in many areas. The biggest danger is habitat loss, as large areas of forest are cleared for agriculture, logging, and human development, leaving the atlas moth with fewer places to live, breed, and find food for its caterpillars. Because the adult moths can't travel long distances and rely on specific plants, they can't easily adapt to fragmented or destroyed habitats. Additionally, because they are so large and beautiful, they are sometimes collected illegally for the pet trade or insect collections, which further harms wild populations. In China, the atlas moth is listed as a protected species of ecological, economic, and scientific value, meaning it is illegal to harm or collect them without permission. What makes the atlas moth so special isn't just its size or its stunning appearance, it's the way it challenges our ideas about life and survival. We usually think of animals needing to eat, to live, to grow, to thrive. But the atlas moth has rewritten that rule, evolving to give up eating entirely, so it can focus all its energy on creating the next generation. It is a living example of how evolution doesn't always favor longer life or more comfort. It favors what helps a species survive. The atlas moth's short adult life is not a weakness. It is a strength, a perfectly tuned strategy that has allowed it to thrive for millions of years in the forests of Asia. It also reminds us that every creature, no matter how small or short-lived, plays a vital role in its ecosystem. The caterpillars provide food for small predators. The adult moths are a rare food source for larger hunters, and their presence is a sign of a healthy, balanced forest ecosystem. When you look at an atlas moth, you're not just looking at an insect, you're looking at a wonder of natural engineering, a creature that has sacrificed one of life's most basic functions to fulfill a higher purpose. Its lack of a mouth isn't a flaw. It has a superpower, a trait that makes it one of the most unique and fascinating animals on Earth. It teaches us that beauty and purpose often come in unexpected forms, and that some of the most amazing stories in nature are the ones that happen right under our noses, hidden in the quiet corners of the forest. The next time you think of moths as small, dull, or uninteresting, remember the atlas moth, the giant, mouthless wonder that lives for love, for legacy, and for the quiet magic of the natural world. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.